So we were hanging out at the Learning Center at Frederica, and we're just messing around with a new toy that we have here. It's the Total Golf Trainer. It's got all kinds of stuff, putting things on the end of a club, hip, wrist, just about everything you can imagine. You had an idea.
I did, yes.
Okay,
we're gonna do a little before and after.
Okay.
So I've spent a little bit of time around Koerty, and we're gonna have him hit a couple of wedge shots before I say anything.
Okay.
So we'll slow it down, see if we can't capture something I think we can improve with one or two of these items, right? I think a lot of times in golf instruction, there's more than one way to get things done, and that's the benefit of the Total Golf Trainer.
Okay, let's check it out.
I want you to hit just a couple wedge shots normal. So let's hit one or two.
How far?
Let's just go to these two flags here. So,
oh, there's a really short one.
this first one right here.
Yeah.
Exactly what we wanted to see. Let's see a couple more.
All right, that's a little better. We made contact with that one.
Again.
This is a tough shot, by the way. Go in. Woo. There we go.
How about one more to this first flag right here?
Okay. On the left.
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna have you put this on your right wrist.
Okay.
Okay. And we're gonna have this ball just a little bit outside of the top of the hand, or on top, so you get a little bit of space there. Now make me a practice swing where when you get that club kind of set and you feel the ball on the back of that wrist, keep it there for a little bit longer going through the ball. Yes, again. Yes, again. So what do you feel there?
I feel like
What's different?
Almost feels like I'm shallowing my attack angle.
Okay.
It feels like it's a bit more up.
Anything with your body?
Feels like I'm going back a little bit more,
okay. Hey,
which is a weird feeling.
That's fine. Do you feel like the motion's continuing a little bit more that way as well? Like you're going through the ball a little differently?
I do.
That's kind of that back feel that you're talking about?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's hit a couple.
Well, my prediction is I'm gonna hit it higher.
Okay.
That would be my, that's my prediction here.
Okay, let's see a couple.
Ha. Okay, a little bit farther, but yeah, very different. And I hit it solidly there as well.
It was solid?
It was solid.
Center of the face?
Center of the face. Let me get the distance right here.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Was that ball on there for a little bit longer? So see if you can keep that, feel like you keep that red ball on the back of that right wrist for a little bit longer going through the shot.
Chunked it.
Okay.
I think that was the feeling of like I was going back. I was moving.
So no need to move away from this target with your chest or your torso.
Right.
We're gonna keep that red ball on your right wrist, your trail wrist, and rotate through the shot a little bit. There you go.
That was a golf shot.
That was perfect.
I'm getting it.
Didn't have that backup feel though, going through it with your pivot, correct?
I kept it going.
Good.
And I would say I've got about 70% on my lead.
That's fine.
Lead leg here with this kind of shot.
How long was that red ball on there?
Quick. It wasn't good.
Okay.
Hey, this is cool. This is immediate, I could feel the difference right away, right?
Yes.
It wasn't an idea or a concept. It was like, feel this.
Good. So I notice a big difference actually with the structure of your arms in relation to your pivot going through the ball. So good wedge players. Now, I'm not picking on you because Koert's already a good player. But so what I saw with Koert here and out on the golf course when we had those tight lies, pivot or your body's rotation would stop and that club head would get thrown and everything would speed up aggressively down there, but you had a short finish.
Okay.
So I know if your pivot's stopping and that club head's being thrown, I know the loft of that club going through the ball is changing a bunch, right? So really good wedge players maintain the loft going through like the hitting area.
Okay.
So if we put that red ball on the back of your right wrist and we make you feel it on there a little bit longer, what's happening to the loft of that wedge going through the ball?
Or we're maintaining
that loft, right? And now the cool thing about this Total Golf Trainer and doing things in different ways is cueing into what people's feels are, right? So good players often, we can talk about the body or the club and what's changing, but a lot of times people will feel something with their hands going through the ball. And so Koert, we put that on there. That's kind of where I was going to start. What's changing down there, right? And he actually felt something with his body going back. So all I was trying to do was see if we could keep that there and get a little bit more rotation and better structure with your arms going through it.
So I've tried to shallow my attack angle with these wedges like this, and in fact, we talked about it. We talked about doing like the towel drill, where you put a towel between there, and that kind of worked, but hey, this is not an advertisement. We're not paid to say this, but like this feedback is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have explained, we would have been here a while before I would have gotten that.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Like I wouldn't have understood this for...
Right, we tried to do it earlier, yesterday, and I kind of just threw one thing out there and you did not like it, so we abandoned it quickly, right? Which is just cool to see how people learn differently or what triggers things. Like even that was a little heavy.
It was chunky.
But
the bounce saved me. And
But I like the look of what you're doing through the ball here more. Right, I actually notice a difference with your body, your pivot going through it and some of your arm structure. Maybe a little bit of your release point, but...
Feels really good. Hit that one hard just for fun.
It's interesting to me that you said you felt like you would hit it higher with that there. Why is that?
It feels like I'm maintaining that angle a bit. I think before I was kind of trying to shut it down a bit more, maybe.
So you were shutting it down with your release.
Correct, I think so. So I feel like I'm maintaining that. This is just what I'm feeling,
yeah,
right?
Like which is interesting. Because my guess was that you would have felt like you were gonna hit it lower.
Okay.
That was what my guess was. But if you feel like you're shutting it down with your release, that's even more different. Yeah. Now,
well, I feel like I am pivoting now as well. And I wasn't before, I know that.
So good wedge players do have release, right? And there's a lot of times that club will start to kind of return to how they had it set up at impact, but you see really good structure, extension going through the ball, and I did not see that with you.
Gotcha.
But I think it was a little bit of cause and effect. Awesome.
The one thing I'm noticing is I am hitting a few of these a little bit heavy, a little bit behind.
Okay. That wasn't.
That was not. And I think it feels, the only reason I think I'm doing this because it feels like I'm like doing a little bit of this.
Do that, but go forward.
Your thing is I just got to keep the pressure going forward.
Correct.
And then it's going to be fine. Makes a lot of sense. All right, I'm going to hit this about, let's see, 90 yards, something like that.
Okay.
Didn't quite get it. It hit a bit too firm as well. That was good. Well, what do you think? How is this feel going to translate to like a 7-iron? Is it a good thing for that as well, or no?
I don't think you had as much of that in your full swing as you did with the wedges.
Yep.
So I would start with it here,
Okay.
right?
Makes sense.
And
I mean, I'm already noticing my divots are a little shallower, it seems like.
okay.
Because I'm one of those guys that takes massive beaver pelts.
Yep. Yes.
That's what we're
I
looking
love
for.
that through there. I see this a lot with my amateurs.
Okay.
Anytime there's like a bunch of pivot stall and club throw, it always looks faster,
Yeah.
right? It looks violent because they're creating the speed this way.
Yeah.
You're hitting it the same distance, if not further, but it looks slower.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes. Love that. Now you notice they're coming
good.
out at the same window too?
Yep. Same
Should be
height.
on the same spot on the face.
All right, so let's look at the other way that we could have gone about this, right?
Okay.
So this is one way.
That's one way.
You talked about multiple ways to accomplish the same goal. What do you think? What would have been the other one?
I would have put this on the end of your wedge.
Okay. Let's try this out.
Okay.
So we were talking about there's always two ways to accomplish a goal, right? In teaching?
Bunch of
Okay,
ways.
so the wrist worked really well. That feedback was great for me. It might not have worked at all. That's the thing we don't know.
Correct.
This was your other idea.
Correct.
How would this have worked? Or what would have this done?
So you've probably seen this drill before where you put an alignment stick in the butt end or grip end of a club, or maybe you hold on to it. So same principle here with this Total Golf Trainer aid just attached to the back end of the grip. If going through the ball, we would see that pivot stall or your body rotation stop and that club head start to pass your hands, you would for sure feel that go up against your body. And the same thing where that loft wouldn't be maintained, your low point would be changing, a lot of things down happening at the golf ball we wouldn't like. So now we're gonna have you hit some, and you can put this, the only thing I'll say, and the reason why I kind of like this a little bit better, you can adjust it more at setup so that it does not negatively affect your
Sure.
setup. Like a lot of times you get that alignment stick in there and you
Yeah,
see
and then
people
you're like
start
that.
sitting up like that. So you can get in there and kind of make it comfy to where it doesn't rub up against you, and make some motions where you do not feel this hit you until going through the ball. If you were to release it early, pivot stall, do all that stuff, you would see for sure that start to run into you.
Okay.
And make me a couple practice swings to start just so you can feel that. Same principle, different approach.
See, I don't feel it. I don't feel it nearly the same as the other one. Totally different feel for me.
Okay.
Totally different.
What's the initial feel difference?
Way less feedback with this. I feel less
Okay.
feedback of what I should be doing.
Interesting.
From this.
Okay.
It just,
No bueno.
I don't like it.
All right, let's try a couple more.
Isn't that funny?
Let's just do some small ones to this
Okay.
first pin.
All right.
Okay.
So I should be feeling this coming back, and I'm trying to not feel it.
Yeah.
Trying to have it not hit me.
Correct.
At
it
all?
can run into you, towards the end of your
Sure.
swing, but for sure not coming into the ball
Okay.
or around impact. You don't like this one as much, I can tell. Gentle swings to this first pin.
Okay. Gentle swings.
Yep, to the lower one down there. So
He's
we're-
really trying to calm me down, folks.
That was better. I see a difference too going through it, but you
Okay.
just don't like this feel or feedback as much.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I think this is just a great point of how fluid golf instruction is, right? Because we know that this kind of feedback has worked for thousands of golfers using a alignment shaft to
Correct.
get the pivot moving that way. But there's also folks it's not going to work for, right?
Right, but that's more on coach than player.
Okay.
Making sure, right, and having that communication aspect and understanding their feels and feedbacks,
Yep.
right, or how they
That's a good one.
process, so that we're giving you the correct thing. Benefit of the Total Golf Trainer.
There you go.
Give you multiple
There you go.
ways to figure out one problem.
I like it. I mean, it's super interesting. And I love feedback, right?
Right.
So too many of us practice one without any feedback, or there's people that practice with poor feedback, right? So you got to find the right feedback and pay attention to it. And we've got all kinds of different stuff here, but yeah, this is fun, man. This is honestly, we just opened this up 15, 20 minutes ago and started messing around with a few of these different tools. And Jackson came up with a winner. I'm pumped. I gotta go hit some wedge shots now. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.